check this out. What you're currently seeing on the screen is an imitation of a real website, which I hacked just 2 days ago. And this was a real website, of course. It was a local chat website, which allowed me to do something very sinister using DeepSeek. And in today's video, I'm going to exactly show you what it is. This website is a local messenger, which allows you to send messages, and it also allowed you to send links. And funny enough, when I reached out to them, they also gave me the source code, and this is also an imitation of their source code because I can't show it because I signed an NDA. So in today's video, we're going to be talking over what actually happened, how this kind of worked out, and also how DeepSeek figured this out. But before we get started, thank you so much for 67,000 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe down below. So let's reach 68,000. So as I said, they gave me the source code, which is very important in this whole thing because this is also an imitation of it, and it was built with Node.js. So messaging is really nice, but this also allowed, as you can see, HTTP links to be sent. So an HTTPS, google.com would be allowed, and it's also clickable, as you can see, takes you to Google. Now, with all of that in mind, what you actually have to understand is that it says that no JavaScript links are allowed. That's something very important. But before we continue, if you want to make software which allows you to see people through walls, aim always at their head, or even do something that no other player can do, crash the servers, let's say, and you can report that to earn actual money, and screenshot you're currently seeing on the screen is company telling me to be quiet about a bug I found on their game, which allows me to crash an entire server for everyone playing it. Now, if you want to learn how to find these issues in video games, or if you just want a regular wall hack for any online game, then, of course, check out the game hacking course in my channel. It's currently on discount. I'm 100% certain you're going to love it. 400 plus people tried it and they all loved it. So if you're interested about game internals or don't know where to start, or even if you're already somewhere there with game hacking, I still recommend you check it out. As a little bonus, I show you the free offset table literally on the landing page of the course. So if you're still stuck there or if you need something, check it out. It's literally there. I also have a bug bounty course if you're interested in learning bug bounty or you don't know where to start. So my biggest finding is a remote code execution vulnerability I found on Windows. So if that doesn't tell you enough, I don't know what will. So check it out. It's in the description as well. So, all right, now that we do understand what is actually happening, we're at the point where we need to start talking about the exploitation. What I will do is I will copy the whole damn server code and send this to the DeepSeek and just ask him, hey, can you find any vulnerabilities here? Now, the best thing about DeepSeek is why I actually love using it is because it doesn't have any filters. So you don't even have to lie to him saying that this is somebody else's website. You can just, or sorry, this is your website. You can just say, hey, are there any bugs here? Question mark. And he will happily do that. And there we go. This is actually what it is. So the critical security bug is link validation bypass. And let's actually listen to what he or she, I don't know, has to say. The problem is a validation is easily bypassed. Attackers can use HTTP instead of HTTPS to void the check entirely. Oh boy. That's actually another thing which I even missed myself. Holy smokes. I missed this. It did not tell me this one. I'll show you what it told me first time. But this is actually crazy. And you can use case variations like HTTPS to avoid this. Wow. That's honestly insane. What I actually want to tell him or want to ask him is to basically tell me more about this issue. So I told him, tell me more about this critical bug, or maybe even give me a simple proof of concept to try. And this is honestly like the most insane thing ever. I don't really think he understands what's actually happening because this ain't it, dog. Oh my god. Okay, so DeepSeek is having a big trouble understanding this, and honestly, I don't even want to try to continue anymore with him because sometimes this can happen, and when that happens, it's best for you to understand what's going on. So I'll still explain what the vulnerability is, even though for some reason, DeepSeek is having big trouble too. I have to basically go ahead and walk him through the issue before he finds it. Either way, I'll tell you exactly what the bug is. First of all, it checks whether there's HTTPS, and then it checks whether this includes for JavaScript. That is super interesting because it uses .includes. And if you're already watching my channel, you probably know what that means, but let me actually just still tell you. The .includes is a universal function for two types of data. It's for strings, so for example, test, and you can do .includes. That will work. I misspelled it, sorry. You can do that, and also you can do this on arrays. Or a list if you are a Pythonaire or whatever. So basically, you can do this also on lists. Now, what this tells me is that you can technically do something like this to submit a list instead of a string, which is being supplied. So let me actually show you what that means. Over here, I have burp, which is ready and set up. So let me actually go over here. Let me enable the Foxy proxy for this. So let's turn on the burp and let's send something like DA, and let's just enable the intercept and let's send it. Oh boy. Probably because I need to refresh the page. Yeah, I do need to refresh the page. Sorry. So the minor inconvenience. Wait. All right, there we go. So it's currently here. As you can see, it sends a message and this is a string, right? So let's try to submit an array, and we need to basically make sure that it aligns with this. So HTTPS can be at the end because when we normalize this array to a string, it is very important that this is at the end. So let's actually do that. So let's first of all put JavaScript alert 1, let's say, and then we need to do a comment because we need to now understand that this is everything that comes after this should be ignored. And then we do HTTPS. So let's just do the HTTPS and like this. Why will this work? Let me show you, right? So basically, if I open up the inspect element and go to console to basically show you what's going on, this right over here, if I say dot includes, first of all, does this include HTTPS? It does. It's going to be true. So immediately it passed the first if statement. Now for the second if statement, which basically is the most important one, this one either tells true or false depending on if this is included. So let's actually now see if it includes JavaScript. So if I just type JavaScript, boom, it's false. So that means that this one failed, and it's going to send the link as true and valid, and it will basically normalize it with .toString. That's awesome, and that's the core vulnerability here. Basically, includes checks if something is within the string, and if it is, it will say true, but it needs to be also, it's not quite the same for lists or arrays, because if there is more to this JavaScript, like for example, if there's any characters after it, it will simply fail. For instance, if there was no alert 1, it will say true because it needs to be bang on. So this is a simple type confusion vulnerability, and if I send now this or forward it and turn off the intercept, we can go back. You should not probably see it because it's not loaded because of the... Oh boy, it's not loaded at all. Hold on. There we go. Now it worked. And if you click on this, you see an alert 1. And everybody who joins after you will see this. And if they click on it, they see an alert 1, aka there is a code execution happening at the client. And this was something I reported. Now, DeepSeek did help me find this, but as of now, he's acting dumb, I believe. And I guess I got lucky. But either way, I definitely recommend you try it if you want to, for example, do this an ethical way. And either way, I was rewarded with, you guessed it, or you probably didn't guess it, $500 for this. I mean, it's a simple issue. I found within an hour. It's like a very simple one. So yeah, $100. Sorry, $500. It's not bad, but hey, it's free money at the end of the day. So thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about these types of confusion vulnerabilities, or is this something that you would like to see more often? Stay safe, stay responsible, most importantly, and as always, peace.